It's really cute though that everybody in By the Beat has something in common in their eyes, right? Or I think here's the way it works, right? In By the Beat, each person has one other person with a similar shape and then one other person with a similar color. So like for example, for me, me and Zeal, we both have rings in our eyes. We both have circles. And then me and Sable both have blue as a main color. Or like for Zeal, you know, he and I have the rings. He and Frio have very similar colors. They both got like the pink color in there. Yeah. And then for Frio, you know, he and Zeal have similar colors. He and Sable both have like the diamond. I think it's kind of cute that we just happen to have these things in common. Would you swap your color palette with anybody? I don't think I would. I think it's been noticed that like Frio's image color is actually my favorite color in the world, but I still don't think I'd associate that color with myself. I think I'm yellow. I'm very happy that I'm yellow. So I'm very thankful that I can be the yellow boy of the group. I don't know if I've reported this to you. I'm going outside again. I think I briefly reported something about this. I had to attend a couple of in-person like school graduation ceremonies recently. One for a sibling, one for a friend. And that put me outside. And I got a light sunburn from one of them. And I'm so happy to have that sunburn. Oh my gosh, have I dropped this bomb on you? You weren't able to handle me saying that I like fevers. Are you ready for the revelation that I like sunburns too? I like having a light sunburn. I don't tend to burn too much. Because of the burn, it's more like, I just like the warmth. Like I love to like feel the heat coming off of my skin. That warmth. I like to touch my skin and feel it be warm. I actually don't like pain much at all. I prefer to avoid it. I don't like anything that hurts. I just like warmth. It feels nice. I like to be warm. That's why I like summer. I like being outside when it's hot. And in the winter, I like to just be under like my blanket and to like run my heater up. Sensitive to other people's touch. I don't know. There are some, like I love a nice firm hug, but I wouldn't really like for someone to just lightly touch my shoulder as much. The torso is like a more sensitive area, for example. Sensitive neck. I think my neck is probably the most sensitive part of my body. I'm gonna be so honest. It's kind of embarrassing. I have the same issue. I get the worst allergies. So to make up for the luck with my skin, I'm now allergic to like all fruit. And through half of the year, I can't breathe through my nose. You hear this? Or that's among my debuffs. I also can't drive. Have I mentioned that? I know I've mentioned that before, but I didn't mention that today. I can't drive, and that's like a big problem for me. It's like one of my biggest weaknesses ever, actually. I think of all my weaknesses and debuffs, the greatest one ever is that I can't drive. I just can't do it. I can't. I've tried. I practiced for like a whole year. I even got my learner's permit. I aced the test, like the written test. I memorized every single rule. I could tell you what any sign on the road means. I just couldn't put it into practice. It was so hard and so overwhelming. I've mentioned this before too. I went to a special school in addition to my regular school where we would commute to another town and I would take my college courses there. And to get there, it would be my dad in the passenger seat and I would drive us there. And then we would switch when we got there and then he would just drive himself a different direction to work, right? But the last time I drove was just as overwhelming as the very first time. Like it never got better for me, no matter how much I practiced. It really sucked. But everybody in my life, like all the adults at the time, all the like older friends who were already masters, they'd all say, Kaelix, it gets easier as you do it more. Like eventually you won't think about it. But I was still thinking about it. That I'm just in a state of mild panic the whole time I'm behind the wheel. I just could not handle it. Like I can control it, I can follow all the rules. If there was not a single obstacle and not a single other driver on the road, I'd be just fine. I think one of my biggest weaknesses is that I live where I live and I can't drive. I live in the kind of place where like, if you can't drive, then you can't go anywhere and you have to depend on others to do things. And I hate depending on others. It's so hard. I'd like to just walk and be completely removed from cars altogether. Public transit then? There is no public transit. I don't have that here. I'd love to though. No, if I need to get somewhere or if I need to do something, I need to call on a friend or a family member. And I'm very fortunate in that I have a lot of friends that are reliable and I have a lot of family that loves me. So I'm still able to do things, but you know, I hate to rely on others for it.